What up, survivors? Welcome to D180, the horror movie podcast, taking you on a ride. Thanks for riding with us. I'm AJ.
And I'm Janae.
And today we are still chilling with the Icy Escapades. This time we'll be talking about 2007's Wind Chill. And before we do all that, you remember like going home on Christmas break? I think we talked about this on a show before. You used to like fly home.
My freshman year, I flew home. My sophomore year, I started catching rides, but I knew the people that I caught rides with.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. Wasn't no strangers.
Listen, my freshman year, I know I stayed on campus past time that everyone else was gone because I just had dance stuff to do. I do remember going home, but I know I wasn't home as long as everybody else because we had like games over the break. And I think the people who stayed the farthest from campus had to do the games that were closer to coming back to school, and the people who stayed closer like did like the random ones that was just in between breaks, they were there. But when it came to like going back home, my mom would come and get me. But I do know my sophomore year, I had a car. So yeah, no, I didn't. I'm like, so yeah, my junior and senior year, I was driving myself home because I had a car.
Yeah.
I do remember I wasn't in college. I was a baby, and don't judge my mama, okay? I had to be like 10 through 12. That's what I would. No. I'm okay. I'm lying. No. Sixth grade, 6th to 7th grade. I knew I wasn't in 8th grade. Yeah, I wasn't that old yet. But my mom would put me on the Greyhound by myself to go to Indianapolis to go see my brother and sister. They just had to be at the bus station, like outside waiting for me. But it's just like still.
That's actually not bad.
It's not like the conductor. She would tell the conductor, and I would always have to sit behind him.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it's just like that's still choicy. It's just like but I know people put kids on the plane by themselves and do the same thing. But
yeah, I think if you're under a certain age, though, they have there's an attendant that like handholds them to when they get on the plane, and then they have a specific seat on the plane. The flight attendants check in on the kids or whatever, and then when they get off the plane, there's normally somebody that's waiting for them.
Got it. That's what I figured. Like everything literally had to.
Yeah, and then they transport them to their parent once they get out the gate.
Right.
Well, not out the gate, but through security and all that.
Okay. Yeah, that makes me feel a lot better. But I had thought about that when I was thinking about our topic for today, and I was just like, dang, I was really just on this Greyhound by myself, chilling.
If our homegirl,
I just
got on the Greyhound.
Let me tell you something. I remember those little boys being at campus, and they would have just all different types of things like rides, odd jobs, babysitting, like all that types of
we
stuff.
Ain't had that.
Y'all didn't have that?
And if we did have that, I ain't know about it because nobody was asking for rides like that.
Yeah, I was just like
no.
Like this is 2007. So I don't know because I wasn't in college in 2007. I don't freaking know. Some of our survivors, was y'all there? Like, can y'all let us know? I mean, because they didn't have everything we had when we were in college.
Right.
Even though that's just like a 3-4 year difference. But it's a big difference in year. And I'm just like,
because that whole ride board thing, that's sketch magetch, okay? Sketch magetch.
Well, before we jump into it, let's get into
park recommendations.
So I'm gonna be very honest with you. When I watched this movie, I was just like, I don't know. So one movie that I did pull that I heard other people say was similar to this one. So mind you, I said other people, not me. Is Dead End from 2004.
End like END?
Dead End, okay. Like Dead End Street. That's all I got for you today.
There's a movie that's possibly similar to this, but it's not a horror movie, I don't think. And I don't remember the name of it. I just remember listening to a synopsis of it from a mukbang channel that I like to listen to.
I'm laughing because, to get back to your story, this little kid that I teach, he was like, Miss Ashley, when I go home tonight, I'm gonna watch a mukbang. What? Is that what y'all do? You're not gonna watch Disney? No? Okay. And he went on and on about this girl that he be watching, and I was just like, and I thought about you.
I like the stories. They're true crime stories.
But I'm talking about the little kids, like the babies. That's what they going home to do. Like, I know what they like watching people play games and stuff. And I mean, I like watching walkthroughs too, but these are little tiny kids. I'm like, that's what y'all doing already? Like, this is y'all content? This what y'all looking for? Y'all watching like the slime videos? No. Like, that's what I'm gonna do when I go home tonight. But continue.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the movie, but basically the people went skiing and then they got stuck on a ski lift for like a few days.
The lodge. I mean, not the lodge. Frozen.
Possibly.
We were going to do Frozen for So Icy Escapades, but I forgot why it got the boot. It just got the boot, and it's okay. So
I'm about to say, because I think I picked that movie.
Well, no, it wasn't. No, I can't remember why it got the boot. But then the crazy part is we ended up needing another movie. But our Patreons got to pick that 5th movie. So, yeah, shout out to the patrons. If you want to become a patron, you can check that out down in the show notes.
This was my first time actually hearing about this movie.
Same.
So this was a first for me. It was directed by Gregory Jacobs, written by Joe Ganjami. I hope I pronounced that right. And Stephen A. Katz, produced by Graham Broadbent and Peter Zernin. And it stars Emily Blunt and Ashton Holmes.
A baby Emily Blunt at that.
Right.
This is fresh off Devil Wears Prada. Like,
that was my movie. I got it on DVD.
No, I have seen that. Okay, I've seen that movie.
It's not a musical, so I hope so.
No, because lately our people have been teasing me about me not being a rom-com person and how many rom-coms I haven't seen.
Wait a minute.
The Devil Wears Prada is a rom-com?
Well, I mean, I didn't mean to identify it as a rom-com, but just movies that aren't horror. Let me say that. Movies that aren't horror.
I was about to be like, what romance was she in? Her job with her job?
Right, okay. It was toxic.
The cinematography was done by Dan Lawson. I hope I pronounced that right. It was edited by Lee Percy, and the music is by Clint Mansell. I don't have any behind the scenes facts about this movie. The majority of it was shot on a soundstage, except for the actual scenes where they were outside. That was actually shot outside in Vancouver or some other part of British Columbia.
When I went on my deep dive, the only thing I could find for y'all was that this was released direct to video. Like, it came out in the UK, but then when it came over here, they was just like, yeah, straight to video, boom, here it goes. But also, when it comes to the marketing of the movie, and I know we'll kind of get to this when we get to the trailer, I guess. Because like I said, I haven't heard of this movie. But I also know that I am the one to like low-key movies, because this one is, from what I've heard, it's like a low-key movie that people discover and they're like, oh my gosh. But I also wonder would this have been one of those movies, had I seen it when it first came out, would I think differently than I do now? Then I'll stop there.
Uh-oh.
That was all I was saying. I mean, are you ready to get in the queue? We can get in line.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Step in line. Your number is near. Follow the signs. Your time is here. Watch your step. This one It's a doozy.
All right, so this week I have a game, and this game is called If You Were a Christmas Scent, What Would You Be?
Here's the thing. Different seasons have different scents, and some of them make sense. You know what? I feel bad for people who are trying to learn English because that was a lot. Because scent and sense, like, and then the babies like me who have lists and try to get over it, like, Jesus, like, we didn't ask for this. Anyway, it's just some that I feel like don't need to be a part of the holiday. Christmas, Halloween, fall. Pumpkin, like, do I want to smell like a pumpkin?
No.
Like, smelling it around my house?
No. It's for y'all PSL people out there.
Yeah.
I don't get the hype.
Like, if anything, I just want an actual pumpkin somewhere in my house, or the fake ones, but I don't want to smell it.
I actually have a candle from our good sis Awade. And it's is it called mistletoe? There's one that's called Deck the Pines, and it smells like literally like pine trees.
See, the thing is, I like winter scent more than I like fall scent.
And the fall scent that I have from her smells like bacon. It's called.
Y'all can't see me, but I jumped out my body for 2 seconds. Bacon, like the little dog.
It's a maple apple bourbon. So it smells syrupy, bacony.
I like that type. Maple apple bourbon. Maple apple bourbon. Maple apple bourbon.
It smells good. I haven't burned it though, only because I feel like it will make me hungry.
Maple apple bourbon. I like that.
Girl, I love her candles. I buy them all. Buy them all. All right, so first question. What's on your Christmas wish list this holiday season? A fuzzy blanket, skis, fuzzy socks, an LL Bean gift card, or, well, a cappuccino maker, or you don't want any of those things?
Okay, because I don't want none of this shit. Okay, because no. I have hella blankets. Like, anybody that I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a big ass blanket in my room, in my office right now. I don't need no more goddamn blankets. And it's more like around the rest of the house. What the fuck am I doing skiing? Unless somebody wants to take me, but I'm pretty sure the resort is going to have some. I don't need to bring them. Like, I mean, unless like I'm a pro, but I'm not, so I don't. Fuzzy socks. I'm a dancer. Like, I'm always getting socks. I don't need that. I don't know where LL Bean is. Like, I don't know what that is.
Who?
A cappuccino maker? I'm a temporary coffee maker. Like, I literally just drink it every now and then, especially if it's free. I don't need that. So I don't want none of this. Can't get jiggy with this shit.
I said what I said.
I will be taking fuzzy socks. I don't like cold feet.
Look at you all grateful and me all ungrateful.
You raggedy bitch.
All right, pick a holiday activity. Sledding, making Christmas cookies, drinking hot chocolate by the fire, snowshoeing, watching Christmas movies, or you'll pass.
Okay, first of all, I didn't know snowshoeing was a real thing. What the heck?
I didn't think that it was an activity. I just thought that you would just wear it to help you walk through the snow.
I didn't know that was a thing. But I absolutely adore a lot of the stuff on this list. So this one's going to be hard because I love going sledding with my family. Like, we would literally, you know how the highways like have the hills? Like, I don't think you can do this anymore. I don't think. But when we were younger and the world was less sensitive and people had sense, we used to go like to the highway hills and sled down those highways, and like the cars would be parked right off the thing. So if you ran off the road, you just ran into one of the parked cars. But that, I know it sounds dangerous now. Like, now that I think we were going to ones that were a little more like less busy though. We weren't going no busy highway ones. But I was with my parents, so obviously, and there was other people there. So I mean, obviously it was a thing we was doing. But Christmas cookies, absolutely adore making any type of cookie. Drinking hot fire by the drinking hot fire. Wow. Drinking hot chocolate by the fire. I mean, like, who doesn't like hot chocolate? Like, it don't like me, but I love it. And then watching Christmas movies, like, yeah, of course I want to watch a Christmas movie. So this is fucking hard. I'm gonna go with, because I feel like if I go with cookies, they gonna give me some basic shit like vanilla sugar cookie shit. So I'm gonna go with watching Christmas movies.
Well, I'm gonna be basic and I'm going with Christmas cookies.
Because here's the thing, like, technically when I watch the movie, I'm gonna have some cookies and a drink. So
Christmas cookies and cookies in general is how I had gained all this weight last year. Because Mariah Carey got these Mariah's cookies that you could order off DoorDash. I was ordering cookies every week off of DoorDash. The Snickerdoodles.
I love Snickerdoodles.
Gingerbread cookies. Girl, I fell in love with gingerbread. I never liked gingerbread cookies in my life.
Gingerbread is so good. It's good.
And she has some cranberry cookie, red velvet cookie. Girl, Mariah.
I might side-eye the gingerbread this year, though, after we watch Krampus. No. Those motherfuckers.
I mean, if you ain't side-eye after we watch Shrek.
Okay, so but that one was sweet. He was like, he just would have got up and just been talking shit. Those were trying to kill people.
You set him on fire.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying I don't want to deal with it. Okay. I would deal with Gingy from Shrek. Like, I know he ain't trying to kill me. Like, you know. But the other ones, I will always have to be like, this is like Gremlins.
Okay. Pick a classic holiday movie. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Elf, White Christmas, Charlie Brown Christmas, Home Alone, The Santa Claus.
How dare they not have a Christmas Story on here? Like, how dare you? So a little quick confession, since we're talking about this, I just seen Elf for the first time last year, 2019, maybe one of those. Just seen it for the first time. Charlie Brown is an asshole. If you know, you know. But no, I don't think Charlie Brown is an asshole. But if you know what that's from, then kudos to you. Rudolph, Jesus, we've been watching that for years. I'ma just, you know what? I'ma just go visit Kevin and them. And go see Merv and them get fucked up. Let's just go with Home Alone. Because I got it downstairs anyway. How the Grinch not on here? Okay, I'm being choosy. I'm gonna quit. Okay, I'm quit.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Like, the Grinch not on here.
I was like, no, wait a minute.
Now, I do like the Santa Claus, but that's not something that I actually watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably end up with Home Alone because I think I only watched Elf once.
Yeah, I'm like, I've literally only seen that movie one time.
And then
it was fine.
Charlie Brown Christmas was something that like is on because you only had like a few channels, and you can always count on that being on one of the few channels that you had.
That's just one of those things. Like the movies, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown Christmas, the claymation one that's always on with Heat Miser and the Ice Dude. Those are ones that you put on like just in the background while the family is just doing everything else in their house.
But you know what movie that I religiously watch every year that's my favorite?
Which one?
Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. That is my shit. Okay.
So many people love that movie. I get it though. So many people love that movie.
That is my movie. Okay.
That's for your birthday next year. We're voting on it. No, I'm just playing.
It's gonna be a movie that Cody loves, probably, but we'll see.
Mean Girls? Okay, no, I'm gonna quit.
Maybe.
Because me and Cody will lose our shit. We'll be here all day.
I'm gonna go down the list of all my favorites, okay? But I'm gonna go with Home Alone.
Got it.
So, what time are you going to bed on Christmas Eve? 11 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 8:45 p.m., right after dinner or church. 10 p.m., I'm not sleeping, I'm an elf.
First of all, who is that giddy that they going to sleep right after dinner or church? They said Santa is fucking coming. Get your ass in the bed. First of all, okay, at my big age, well, I ain't got no kids though, and I'm not around any kids, so I guess I'm not an elf this year. Wow. You know what? F it. Let's do 10. Because I'm always doing something. Let's do 10.
I'm picking I'm not sleeping, I'm an elf. Because I literally do be up. And my mom, so right before I moved out, it was still the same thing. It would be a certain time and my mom be like, Johnny, don't come out the room. And I'm like, Mom, I'm 28
You
years
know
old.
what? I want to change my answer too, because I am always up on Christmas Eve. I was trying to think of what I'd be doing realistically, but yeah. I do barricade myself somewhere, and half the time I'm not even doing nothing. I'm just there chilling, enjoying the view.
Be watching TV or surfing the internet or talking on the phone. All my presents normally are wrapped by 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So how are you spending your Christmas day? With a peaceful morning walk, by opening presents with my family, sleeping in, having breakfast, opening presents, up at the crack of dawn's open presents, opening gifts after a few cups of coffee, eating a huge breakfast brunch.
See, like some of these like don't have the right combination.
Exactly.
Yeah, because the last few Christmases that I've been on the East Coast and I've spent them with BJ's family, what they do is they wake up, they eat a huge little brunch. And then first of all, that Baltimore accent that I just did, that was kind of scary. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh wow. But they do that and then they open gifts. So I guess the one that would be the closest is sleeping in, having breakfast, and opening gifts. But I mean, they be up ass early. Oh well. I guess I could just say eating a huge breakfast brunch because that comes first. Eventually, we get to the gifts.
So mine is actually, I wouldn't say up at the crack of dawn, but they be waking me up before 8 o'clock, and I be mad. Why y'all?
I just went to sleep.
I just went to sleep. This is a holiday. We sleep in.
And we got the whole day. That's the thing about Christmas. When you do it too early in the morning, unless you like have a really big family and you got kids and stuff and like they're playing with their toys the whole day, that's different. But when you get older and you do everything in the morning, the rest of the day is just there. You just like, yeah, it's Christmas.
So I'll run down what we actually do. So we wake up by 8, which pisses me off because I try laying in bed as long as possible. I'll be laughing downstairs. And we'll open our presents. Then I'm in charge of making breakfast. So I'm making grits, making pancakes, making eggs, bacon, all that stuff for breakfast. Then we'll maybe get dressed, maybe not get dressed, because me and my mom actually, after we eat breakfast, we actually have to start cooking.
See?
Cooking Christmas dinner.
See?
So depending on what it is, it's like she might start off and I'll go upstairs and get dressed or relax for a little bit, or I'll start off and then she go upstairs and get dressed and relax for a little bit. Because if we at in the kitchen at the same time,
nope.
So I spend most of my day cooking, and then we normally eat by 3.
Oh, look at y'all, prompt.
But most times we're not eating by 3, and we're probably finally sitting down like 4 or 5. But we tell everybody we're eating at 3. Never happens. So, and then by 6 o'clock, everyone's full and fat and knocked out.
Yeah.
On the couch.
That's why I'm like, Christmas Day usually at that, like, for the midday, because there's always like a midday drag, and that's usually, depending on how early people be getting up, that's usually around 11 to 1 p.m. Now, if you got more relatives coming over, you're going to get that second little wave of energy or annoyance, depending on who your relatives are. And then, like you said, around that 5-6 area, after everybody done ate for the second time, it's pretty slow.
Yeah.
But see, we like, okay, now if I'm in Gary, what we'll do is usually people have their own, because you know my sisters and brother, they got their own kids, so everybody do their own thing at their house. And it also depends, because we might do it in Gary or we all might go to Indianapolis. Now if we all go to Indy, it's still the same thing. Wake up, eat, presents, everybody chilling. At this point, my entire family, we all dabble in the green stuff. So we all just, you know, at this point.
Hey, we're going to take a walk.
Look, listen, at this point, and I am so grateful that my whole family, everybody just understands that when everybody just slowly starts disappearing, it ain't no, where's such and such at? Where's such and such? Y'all know exactly where the fuck they at. We was at the same places we was for Thanksgiving. Like, y'all know. But yep, everybody come back. Everybody's all nice. Everybody can work together. We can cook. we can eat, and then we usually end the night getting drunk. Like my mom is heavy-handed with the drinks. I'm pretty sure this lady was a bartender at some point and just doesn't want to tell us. But one of the things I like about getting older is because I didn't get much of a hard time as most people do when that person starts to get to that age where you can't like baby them no more. Like I was kind of welcomed with open arms, but I think it was already because I was already acting that way, wanting to be like that because I had so many older sisters and they was just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, because my dad would definitely sneak me little sips of alcohol when I was like underage, but I was in the house. So what was I about to do?
Right. So I think I'm gonna go with it up at the crack of dawn to open presents because I feel like that's what it is.
Yeah, I didn't even realize you hadn't picked. We just going on with these stories, but it's okay.
All right. What is your least favorite part of the holiday season? Struggling to find the right gift, shipping delays, the fact that Christmas is a whole year away, taking down the Christmas tree, the end of the whole season, the cold.
The cold, hands down. I am getting cold right now just talking about like the characters in this movie, and I got some shit to say about it, but no. Oh my God, if you know me, you know I do not like to be cold.
Yeah,
I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now just
and
talking
that's why
about being
I like
cold.
fuzzy socks because I don't like being cold.
I mean, but I got a shit ton of those. I don't need no more. I mean, you can give me some, but I don't need them, hun. Like I get between 5 to 10 pairs of socks a year just off dance. Like I don't need it. But no, I don't know. I do not want to be cold. Like if hell is hot, then you know what? It's hot. It's up and it's stuck because I don't want to be cold.
Oh God.
God, I'm kidding. Like I'm just talking. I'm shit talking. But I'm just saying, like, I know. No. Like, I don't want to bring that up because it's super dark. But freezing to death, well, I mean, damn, I guess we about to talk about it in this movie, so never mind. But I was thinking about a certain case. But just hell no. No, that's what I'm picking.
All right. So what I'm going to pick is the cold.
Yes, because no.
I don't like it being cold.
No.
But also, when it's unseasonably warm, I think something's wrong.
That too. Okay, because you know what? Because I'm telling you, and I'm just going to look, D180, even though, you know, we a little ghetto bougie park, we care about the earth. Please don't be a little bug. Please recycle because I kind of want to be here after 10 years. And at the rate we going, we might not fucking be here in 10 years. And I know that was dark, but that's how it needs to be for y'all to wake up. What's not clicking, Steven? Like, come on. Like, help the world out because she is suffering. And we need to change the climate. Like, we need to do something, okay? Just help. Whatever little bits you can do, just do it. Because
finally, pick one more holiday activity. Volunteering, caroling, ice skating, family time, playing in the snow, cooking.
It's definitely volunteering. Definitely. I started doing like volunteer work in 2014, my last year of college. Yeah, my senior year in college. And ever since then, that's something that I always look forward to doing because, like, yeah, everything else on this list is okay, except caroling because I'm not fucking doing that.
No.
But everything else on this list, like, I adore doing. But volunteering, like, if you've ever done it, if you haven't, I strongly encourage that you do it. And you can, like, find things in your local neighborhood. But nothing is more better than when you, like, just give and give and give. I love it.
So I haven't volunteered during the holiday season since I was elementary and middle school. Because we used to pass out turkeys at Thanksgiving with my church. And then we would do toys. And we wouldn't pass out turkeys. We'd pass out other food for Christmas too. But I haven't done that in years. But like outside of that, me and my dad, we'd go and feed the homeless like once a month. In DC. So, but yeah, getting back to doing that to the holiday season is something that I need to get back into doing. But to make my answer more realistic, cooking. It's That's what I am. Oh, I'm not mad at this answer either that I just got.
I don't know how I feel about my answer, but the description, I'm just like, you know what? Yes, it makes sense. But I got Twisted Peppermint. You are a holiday classic candy cane. This festive treat is sweet and refreshing, just like you, and they're not lying. And it smells great. But I'm just like, I would just want to know what other things are out there that I could have gotten. That's all. That's why I'm just like, peppermint.
I don't really like the smell of peppermint.
All right, that's why I'm like, that made me think of Old Soul.
Yeah, like I can, but see, I can deal with peppermint flavored things, like mint and like toothbrush, toothpaste, that sort of thing. But to smell like a peppermint, that's
gonna make it's giving nursing home.
Mm-hmm. So what I got is winter candy apple.
Ooh.
You are the Bath & Body Works scent winter candy apple. It's one of my personal favorite scents because it's sweet and angelic, much like yourself. Insert imaginary halo.
No, wait, no, you know what? We're not gonna do this. We are not. But I'm not gonna go in on you today. We're not gonna do this. No. Y'all, if y'all follow Janae on her personal, y'all see that she always take pictures with that damn devil filter. Yeah. Let's wait.
That's my favorite filter because
I wonder why.
No, I'm sweet.
Yeah, I'm sweet. I'm angelic. Girl.
No, because it is my Facebook names.
All right. It looks like our number's up. It's our time. So when we get back, we're going to be getting into 2007's Wind Chill.
We had a class together, you know. Intro to Modern Philosophy.
What? There's like 1 million people in that class. It's like Woodstock.
So, are you doing anything over the break?
I'm getting that laser eye surgery.
But your glasses look so good on you.
How would you know? I never wear them outside my dorm.
The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning for the entire eastern seaboard. Temperatures will plunge with a wind chill reaching 30 degrees below zero.
What the hell is this? Are we lost or something?
It's a shortcut.
Get back on the highway.
Relax.
Pull over.
Where do you want me to pull over? There's no shortcut. Hello? Any luck?
I can't get a signal.
What's wrong with you? What did I do?
You drove us here!
You think I intentionally arranged for us to get stranded? What kind of a psycho do you think I am?
Hello? We just had an accident. We could really use some help here. What the hell?
Hey.
It was weird. I just saw some guy he's gone. It's like he was...
Ghost. There's the ruins of an old house or something up on the hill. I didn't see anyone. There's somebody up there. But I found these old newspapers.
2 found dead in tragic accident. Family freezes in car. Police officer burned alive. Every winter there's freak accidents on this road. They say when you freeze to death, it's just like going to sleep.
Before we get into this trailer, I just want to say I went to go get some water, and guess who was on my TV screen? It was Home Alone, but it was Home Alone 2, and that means Tim Curry was just on my TV screen when I went downstairs, and he was just smiling, and I was happy because Tim Curry makes me happy, and I just wanted to let you guys know. So about this trailer, was y'all trying?
No, they weren't trying.
Damn, and that's not even where I was going. I would like, because I was just like, okay, this is a narrated trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Are you trying to tell me this is a stalker movie or is this a whatever? This is at the end.
The trailer tells the whole damn movie, just about.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I don't like it. And I've mentioned this time and time again, I really don't like when trailers show the whole movie, especially seeing as though we watch the trailers after we watch the movie. Mm-hmm. So as a moviegoer, I would be very disappointed if I watched the trailer before and then I go to the movie and see that I pretty much already saw what the movie's about.
Right. Yeah, I just seen a mini little sum up and that was all we needed.
Right.
And I mean, even when we get into the movie, because I do this all the time, y'all. If you're new here, I do this thing where I'll have an idea and I don't know whether I want to say it now or hold it. But you know what? It's season 2. Let's try new things. I'm just going to say it. This movie felt like a creepypasta or old like urban legend, which I like those. Like I definitely 24/7, if I'm not doing anything or I'm not on Clubhouse, I'm listening to like ghost stories, creepypastas, the little YouTube animated short stuff like that. So with that being said, this one just didn't hit that mark for those ghost stories and urban legends. And it was little things that we'll discuss when we get to it. That time out earlier when I was talking about my mom mixing drinks. You guys can't see it, but
yes, Mom.
And you see she at home because you see the little house phone right there. My mom
on
just
deck,
sent
on
me
stay
a
house
picture.
phone or standby, okay?
And you see how big this cup is.
That ain't, yeah, because I know what size phone that is. My parents have a similar phone.
Yeah, you see how big, like my mom has made herself a watermelon daiquiri. Girl, this girl know how to party. But back to my point is, as we discussed the movie, there are things I feel that probably would have made the story a little bit better, a little bit tighter, or just, just gave you more than what it gave. But as far as ghost stories, this one was a ride.
Yeah.
I guess you guys see where this is going, so let's just go ahead and get into it. It's gonna be a short ride.
So these characters don't have any names,
right? And which is like once again, that contributes more into like the urban legend thing, because half the time when we be hearing these, they'd be like, yeah, some girl and this guy, they was da 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 da, and they don't have names. But when it comes to a movie, in certain cases, because I feel like there are other movies that do that, like people don't have a name and it's a little bit better. But when you don't give them a name, we can't connect with them because it's just like, oh, there's some girl and some guy,
And because it's just some girl and some guy, we're calling them homegirl and homeboy the whole show.
I'm with it.
So this movie starts out with homegirl sitting in class when she's interrupted by a text message on her Sony Ericsson. And the very first thing I said was, a Sony Ericsson? Wow. A relic.
Yo. Listen. The amount of old cell phones that I have in my possession, and I just be like, damn, we was walking around with these bricks.
Yo, my mom had a phone almost the size of this freaking water bottle.
Listen.
And this was a cell phone.
Those like first ones, they was like all black and they literally just looked like
hers was white
smaller
though.
phone.
Hers was white.
White.
It was a big block. Then I know what you're talking about though. They had a black one that it was kind of the size of this, but it had the little flip.
It was big. It was big.
Girl.
Like the little, just at the bottom though, just the flip at the bottom, like Charlotte Pickles' phone, like that.
Yep.
Like I was like, oh wow. It was like this. This was literally how big they were. This is how, y'all can't see it, but I'm holding up one of my jaded accessory boxes that you give me. Yeah, one of those. But this is big. It's big.
In these texts, we see that it's December 23rd. The semester is over and it's time to go home for the holidays. Homegirl was going to take the bus, but whoever she's texting suggested that she checks the ride board to get a ride home instead. And this circles back around to this conversation that we had at the beginning of this episode. But my question is, why are you still taking tests 2 days before Christmas?
I had that same question. We were always out, at least by the 20th. We were out.
At my school, we were gone the first week in December. Because by that Friday, they were doing graduation.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But yeah, I definitely wasn't in no school on no 23rd. I know that. I might have been at dance rehearsal. I definitely remember being at dance rehearsal on the 23rd because yeah. But no, we weren't in no damn school. I definitely was thinking that.
Blasphemous. Like what's going what? So homegirl proceeds to walk from class to the ride board. During her walk, all I can think about was, here we go with this early 2000s gray coloring again.
Which like started warming up towards the end of the 2000s. And then in the 2010s, everything was just like sienna.
Yes, but that gray coloring already let me know what type of movie it was going to be. Yes. And I was like,
because we just had the ring. We just had the ring in 2002, and that was like blue-green. And then it just took us through this like era of just like blues and dims. Like even like I wanted to say the butterfly effect, but I'm just thinking of the cover, not the actual movie. That movie was a bit bright, but continue.
But no, you know what it automatically gave me a feeling of? Soul Survivors.
Yeah, there you go. That was
just from the coloring.
Said butterfly effect, I was like, no, that's not it. But yes, no,
just from the coloring.
I agree.
Anyways, she gets to the ride board and finds a post for a ride to Delaware on December 23rd. How convenient. How convenient. And then that brings me to my other point. We were so trusting back then. How do you even know that a student even posted this?
And then it's like none of the numbers are ripped off of it.
Exactly.
Like she was the first person to like rip a number. So I'm just like, do you like when, okay, if we have people, survivors, if y'all have done this, for real, let us know on our Twitter, IG, let us know. Do you call the number first? And like, do you just, well, obviously you got to call the number, but do you call the number and like just talk to them and like try to see what's going on? Or do you just be like, hey, yeah, I need a ride. Okay, I'm coming. Like, how does this work?
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying like this isn't a thing. Like we've seen this, like,
right.
all, like, you know, but I'm just curious. Like, how do you do that? Because it couldn't be me. I'd be scared.
Tell me about it. And then on the second watch, I realized that the handwriting was very rushed.
Well,
on that note.
Yeah, I was like, well, we'll come back to it.
Right. And that brings us to our first title card. December 23rd, 3:12 p.m. I like when movies have title cards. It helps me organize my notes.
Same.
So homegirl rolls up on homeboy with her suitcase and he's sleeping in his car. She's late, but he's waiting for her. When she goes to put her suitcase in the trunk, she can't because it's supposed to capacity since he's being kicked out of his apartment. She's actually kind of snippy when it comes to telling him to go warm up the car while she worries about fitting everything in the trunk. And first of all, how are you being rude and you're the one who needs a ride home? He's doing you a favor. And then have the nerve to leave a bag in the parking lot.
Now, here's the thing. So we see her go up to the car with her suitcases, right? So how come later on in the movie when he's like, let's get all our stuff, she's like, I didn't bring anything. Well, what was in your suitcase?
That too.
Yeah, what was in your suitcase?
She's like, everything that I need is in Delaware.
Yeah. Yeah. Which also is weird because if you're in Pennsylvania, you're going home to Delaware. You would still, okay, now if I'm going on a road trip, and this is me, any type of road trip, baby, I'm bringing blankets. I get snacks before we go to the gas station to get more snack. Like I am loaded, suited, and booted up. I got chargers. I got the works. Like I got the fuzzy socks. Yes, I definitely be having a pair of car socks if I'm not driving. Like, and all she had on was like a cardigan. She like kind of what I got on right now, not like this, but she literally had on like a cardigan. The cleavage was out. Like,
right.
It's snow all around you. Where's your puffy jacket? Where's your jacket that goes all the way to your ankles and covers your booty? Because you know that's what we like now. But where's your baby fat fur coat? Where is it?
Missing in action.
So I was just really confused. Like, what was in that suitcase, Pooh, that you was just so mad about in the beginning? Because,
well, besides her empty suitcase, there's too many things wrong with this man car. The door sticks from the outside. The window don't go all the way up. And then it doesn't have any license plates. Where are you going?
You're right.
Where you going?
You gotta wait for it in the mail.
An hour into the trip, homegirl's on the phone talking shit about how she's bored to tears, which actually hurts dude's feelings.
Right in front of him.
Right. So she gets off the phone and then snaps a picture of him. And then he lays out the rules of the road. Like, if I'm driving, you got to talk to me. I mean, it's only fair. You got to keep the person up. But she was really.
That is literally your duty as a road tripper. Everybody has a duty. The driver is the driver. The passenger usually is the direction person. They're going to have the Uber. They also might be the person, like John said, keeping the other person awake, just keeping all the overall order, sergeant at arms, if you will. The person behind the driver is the auxiliary person. That's the person in charge of the playlist. And then the person usually on the right behind the passenger is just there. Usually, like, it just, you know what? They're just there for extra moral support. And that's how it goes. But I'm just like, as a passenger seat rider, you are supposed to entertain the driver.
Right.
At some capacity.
Because we would have, riding back home, when it was, okay, so Tiffany would drive when she had her car, or I would drive. And then after a while, I just was driving all the time because I don't like being at the mercy of other people. I've already told you this. This is why whenever we go on road trips, I'm always driving. And we would play games, but the games would mostly be like conversational topics or whatever. Right. And like, you know,
I mean, we did this when we went to BRT. Yeah.
Like we it's just like bonding, you know?
I thought about it. The person who's sitting behind the passenger, and this is if you partake in this, that's the person that's in charge of rolling up. When we get deep into the trip and we're like in the no police zone, that's where that happens. So yeah, that's your job. Be ready.
So at this point in the trip, this is where we find out some background information about the duo. Homeboy is apparently from Wilmington, Delaware, as well, and went to a school called St. Vitus Academy for Catholic Boys, which our good sis has never heard of.
Right. She like,
They had a philosophy class together, but she never noticed him in said philosophy class. Turns out his major is Eastern religions and hers is an engineering discipline. And it's kind of funny because she had literally just talked shit about Eastern religions. And then he was like, yeah, that's my major.
Right.
And she only took the philosophy class because she needed a humanities credit.
Right.
And then they also briefly touched on reincarnation and eternal recurrence.
Which at this point, we didn't hit the spoiler alarm, but if we didn't hear it go, basically tries to be the point of the story.
Right.
Say.
But to break up this boring movie, I have a similar story about being in a class and someone noticing me. And then when we end up talking a while later, they're like, yeah, we had a class together. And I'm like, nigga, what? Listen,
so was the class big?
Oh, it really wasn't. Okay, so HBCUs have a smaller class size.
Right.
And so same thing. We either had to take psychology or sociology. And I chose sociology because I'm like, who the fuck wants to take psychology? No. So I took right. But so I took sociology and I kind of sat in the front, but not really in the front, maybe like 3 rows away from the front. And then the dude sat in the back.
Right.
And he was an athlete. So I don't pay attention to none of them niggas. And I'm also older than him. So I think I was like a sophomore or a junior. So it's my senior year. I'm dancing now. I'm in the spotlight. I get introduced to him. No, he crossed. Now he's an Omega.
Jesus.
And this is not my boyfriend, by the way. But because my boyfriend's an Omega too. I don't know what it is about me and attracting Omegas. Lord.
Jesus.
But
it was all.
Right. But I just crossed and then he gets my friend to introduce me to him and we changed numbers, whatever. Come to find out, we had a sociology class together and he sat in the back and he was like, yeah, I remember you from sociology. I thought you were cute. You were very quiet. You would just come in, you sit there, you wouldn't talk to anybody and then you'd be like the first one to leave. And I was like, oh, didn't know that you knew who I was.
Right.
And then from there, we had a little fun year that we weren't supposed to have because I had a boyfriend at the time.
First of all, it was that Windex laugh for me. I ain't never did that before. That was brand new. Wow.
So that brings us to our next title card. It's 5:15 p.m.
We just, every show, we just expose and expose and expose. And the survivors be here for the shits, because these be the episodes that y'all be blowing the fuck up and we be like, what the hell? Like, Soul Survivors, like we was both looking at the numbers like, what the fuck? Like, and it was an episode that we were clowning on.
No, I can tell this story now because I don't talk to the athlete anymore. Sad story, I'm actually dating his LB.
Jesus, every episode we just expose and expose. I mean, I don't care, I'm for it, go. But
I dated his LB, and so I don't know if really he knows, but my boyfriend knows that I dated his LB in the past. We weren't really dating though, we were just, canoodling.
Was it?
We were just canoodling, Wasn't really dating, just, But so, yeah.
Like, both of our faces are red.
Sorry to those men if you ever listen to this.
Sorry to them men.
All right. Title card, 5:15 p.m. Homegirl is painting her toes on the dashboard and reveals she has to pee. So she tells him to stop at the next gas station. And he's like, I'll keep my eyes peeled. And she mentioned that phrase freaks her out. And it sparks this whole conversation about laser eye surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And before we get into laser eye surgery, because I have a point about that, but why are you painting your toes on this nigga dashboard?
Like,
that's rude.
Yes. I'm like, you don't.
And then normal polish stings.
So that whole, like, especially back then, like, remember, like, when we used to play in our mommy's nail polish, it would smell up the entire room and they knew you was up in the nail polish. Mm-hmm. Like, now it's a little more lax, but you can still smell it. But then it was like, lighting a joint. Like, you was going to smell it. Mm-hmm. Like, there was no hiding.
No hiding. Especially because, in high school, people would, like, paint their nails in class and the teacher gets so mad because it's stinking up the whole class.
Mm-hmm.
So back to the laser eye surgery. Homegirl is really against it because she's like, yeah, they use a laser. They don't actually peel back the top layer.
Right.
And he's like, no, they actually do peel back the top layer. I watched.
Which they do.
They do. I watched this.
Yeah, I'm like, I've watched this happen. I literally watch videos of laser eye surgeries. I'll do ingrown toenails. I'll do, of course, the pimple, the ingrown, the ear extractions. It's the dental procedures. It's hella dental videos that I be watching. So I'm like, yeah, he's not wrong.
Like, they do use a laser, but before I think they use
the cornea. They got to get the cornea. Yeah.
So they peel back the little first layer and then they do what they gotta do and then they put it back. Mm-hmm. So, and then she's freaking out because she's like, yo, I'm having laser eye surgery. He's like, well, why? And then she's like, yeah, I wear glasses. And it's like, oh yeah, this is, they look good on you. So this is where we find out that this nigga's actually stalking her because she never wears her glasses outside of her dorm. So how does he know that she looks good in her glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking creep.
All the red flags.
So now she's looking at him sideways, and just his luck, they pull up into a gas station. But now her toes are wet, so she doesn't want to get out the car to use the bathroom. So he decides to offer to carry her inside, which he does, which was weird.
I think now, this is the only time I'm going to say this because I'm not defending this shit at all. I think from his grand scheme of things that we know, I think he genuinely was trying to help. But I'm like, y'all could have just sat there and waited. Like, y'all had a 6-hour drive anyway. Yeah. It didn't make no difference. But I think he was trying to, how, like,
be chivalrous.
Mm-hmm. Like, just trying to be cute, basically. I'm not defending that at all. I'm not buying it. But that's what I think. He was just trying to be cute.
At the time I first watched it, I thought it was weird as hell. I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
But this is the part that grossed me out. So when they get inside the gas station, she's still fucking barefoot.
Yes.
And she proceeds to walk through the gas station barefoot
to the toilet.
You know what? I will give it to her. Before she walked in the bathroom door, she did put the shoes on.
Oh, she did? Okay.
She
I
did.
wasn't paying attention.
She put those shoes on because I'd been talking hella shit if she didn't put them damn shoes on.
Because you heard my ass. I was like, she went to the toilet and I was ready to cut her up. But I wasn't.
She actually put the shoes on her feet. She put her purse on the sink and then
I did see that. Okay, yeah.
And stood in the doorway and just put the shoes on. But after she uses the bathroom, she gets locked in and can't get out. And then breaks the doorknob off trying to get off the bathroom.
Do you know how mad I would be if I was ever locked in a damn gas station bathroom?
Pissed, especially when it looked like that.
Like, no pun intended, shitty. I just
man,
because I will automatically think y'all trying to do something to me. Automatically.
And she did. She really thought that. So when she came out, everyone was looking at her like she was crazy. And then she spat, and which was weird to me because I'm like, why everybody looking at her like that? And then she spazzed out on homeboy because she thought that he could hear her.
Okay, so this is what I think. Unless you're telling me you knew this already, you're just going with the movie. But this is what I think. I think based off what we know for the rest of the movie, I think she was locked in there, but she wasn't locked in there. So when they came out, she was cussing them out. They was all like, oh, why are you upset you weren't locked in the bathroom? Like,
Yeah, and I think that's the case too.
So I think like that was happening in her little moment because something happens with that bathroom, this gas station later. And I think she was just like living that out. But on the outside, it was like a regular normal day. And that's why everybody was so confused when she came out just snapping on everybody. It was like, damn, bitch.
Before they leave the gas station, the cashier tells homeboy that it's his best bet to just stay on the highway. And now she really thinking that, are we lost? What is going on here? He's like, no, I take this drive all the time. But then that look,
why are you asking for directions? Like,
right. And then the look that he gave the cashier was a little sketch. So they get outside. He refuses to take gas money from her because he's like, I don't take gas money from friends. And now she's really looking at him like he's a little weird. And then to make matters worse, instead of staying on the highway, he decides to swerve and take a shortcut.
When I say it was like, I understood her, but a small part of me was like, okay, the whole car ride, she's kind of being bitchy, but it's low key. It's understandable why. But also, if you feel this way about this guy, I wouldn't be trying to piss him off. If I thought he was fucking crazy, I would be very nice. Like, I would be like, okay, let me chill, let me calm down. But as soon as we turned that fucking corner and I know his car is fucked up and all that shit, bitch, I would have rolled out that. No.
And walked back to the gas station because y'all weren't that far.
I'd have been like, just stop the car because I don't want to go down this road. I hear you and I hear what you're saying, but I don't want to go down this road. What did Judge say? Now that road, don't take that road. No, we're not doing that.
He said stay on the highway.
Okay.
So homeboy was really trying to take a shortcut. It was a scenic route. However, this route wasn't even plowed, and probably for good reason, so that people don't use it. And I wouldn't have even been comfortable driving on that road with that kind of car because that's not a car that you drive through the snow with.
Exactly. Like, we already know this car is not the best equipped. And then even when they turn into it, you immediately see crosses off the side of the road. Right. And for you people who may not be too familiar with that, but if you're ever driving anywhere and you see makeshift crosses or like balloons and teddy bears off the side of the road, usually that means there was an accident there and either someone got hit there or like they passed there, and that's just where they're given like a tiny memorial.
After the whole freak out session, she calms down a little bit and they start talking a little bit more to find out a bit more about each other. And she actually got smart this time and deduced that he really wasn't from Delaware. And this is where shit hits the fan. Now she's really freaking out about who he could possibly be and wants to know what the fuck is going on. Meanwhile, a car is coming for them head on, and then the car that hits them ends up hitting the tail end of the car, causing them to spin out and crash.
Listen, like, out of all the things that could fucking happen, I just no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. And now we're with another title card. It is 6:29 p.m. Homegirl is the first to wake up, and she gets out of the car and tries to call 911, but she doesn't have a single signal.
Of course.
Dude sneaks up on her to ask her what she's doing, and come to find out, he doesn't even have a cell phone, which early 2000s is a little bit uncommon. So I can see why.
So what number did she call?
That landline that he had unplugged in
Oh
the back
yeah.
of the car.
Oh yeah. I was about to say, no, how the okay, never mind.
The weird thing that he notices is that there's no tire tracks from the car that hit them, which is actually, very smart. So he goes to investigate and they find nothing. They also try to get the car out of the snow, but with no luck. And while, he's at the back of the car trying to push it, she decides to lock him out. And then they proceed to have an argument through the little crack in the window about how they got into this situation.
I'm sorry, this scene took me out. This scene took me out because, first of all, girl, how you gonna lock me out of my car? Even though, yes, lock him out of his car. Save yourself. But he was just, I know he was thinking in his head, like, damn, bitch, I'm just trying to love you.
Basically. After their argument, he decides to go ahead and make a trip back to the gas station for help. And he suggests that she should go with him, but she refuses to go and he walks alone. Meanwhile, she gets duct tape and scissors that he keeps in the back seat to patch up the window that won't roll up. But while she's patching up the window, she sees someone walking past the car across the bridge behind them and gets out to speak to him, but he ignores her. Then dude sneaks up on her again. He clearly
stop doing that. Yeah.
He clearly lies about going to the gas station and it being closed because there's no way he could have got there and back so fast. So he goes and sits in the car to keep warm, and she reluctantly joins him after saying that she didn't want to be in the car with him. At this point, she's convinced he's a psycho and is holding on to scissors that she used to cut the duct tape for dear life. In the car.
I mean, I'm only laughing because, yeah, I it's like I get it, but also at the same time, and we're gonna get to this, a part of me will be like, damn, if he was trying to fuck me up, he just would have did it already.
Right.
Like, we out here, he just would have did it already. So I really don't think he owned that. So maybe I could chill just a little bit. Maybe I'll just have the scissors like on this side where he can't see and he can't reach so easy. But her defense was on 10. I'm not mad at it though.
Right. In the car, we we see that his head is bleeding and he deflects by telling her how to win a bar fight. Well, how to get away if you get caught in a bar fight. Then, now we officially find out that he's not from Delaware, which we knew, and that he was asking people on campus about her. Then this is where we get a flashback to the beginning of the movie when she was in class. This nigga was looking over her shoulder at her text messages and saw that whoever she was texting suggested the ride board instead of the bus. So he hastily wrote his info on the paper and posted it on the job board.
Listen.
He was convinced that this was a romantic gesture and would have told her everything eventually.
All right, now this is where I'm going to say this and we just going to go for it. No, it's not.
It's not.
There are some people, and as much as I want to say I don't like to judge, I really want y'all to explain to me why y'all think this is cute. Because it's some people that I've heard. Okay, now wait, time out, because I do have to say this, because there are going to be some people that come at my head and be like, Ashley, don't you like Joe from You? And you're right, I do.
So
here's the thing. Exactly. But here's the thing. Joe isn't about to purposely isolate us for hours. If anything, Joe is still going to be normal.
Or at least try to be normal.
And just be doing slick shit in the cut that I don't know about. Like the whole him spying on her and he knows how she looks in the glasses. Joe would be on that type of stuff. Joe would not be putting me in danger. Okay? Unless he was trying to kill me. But
see, he kill you when he realized you're not perfect.
Exactly. And he doesn't have to know that yet. But now, no, it's not the same. So Joe and homeboy, they not the same, and y'all not gonna convince me. No.
He even spent $60 worth of food.
And you in college. You know you broke.
That she left in the parking lot. Got all of the fancy foods that she liked. The bitch left it in the parking lot.
And I'm just like, how do you know she likes this food?
How do you know that she wears glasses in her dorm?
Like, it's not cute. It's not cute. And this was not going to be romantic. Romantic would have been if you legit really were going to Delaware. if you were really going there and she just happened to need a ride and you really did live there, but it's crazy you don't live there. And that's probably why he ain't had no plates. He probably had Pennsylvania plates. And then took them off so she wouldn't ask him about it. But even then, you could have just been like, I bought my car here.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But this is where it got a little weird. Because since she left the food in the parking lot, he remembered that he had a candy bar somewhere that he lost. He finds the candy bar, then snatched the scissors out her hand like he was going to do something to her.
He's like, give me these scissors.
But really, he only wanted the scissors to cut the candy bar in half.
Well, why didn't you just ask? Why would you be like, was you trying to skip? Like, what the?
It was like he snapped. It went from being nice to, I'm going to kill you, bitch. But then, like, you're only cutting the candy bar in half. I don't understand.
You could have just broke it.
Child. And then, to make matters worse, they run out of gas. So now they're forced to bundle up with whatever warm items they have and get comfortable. But as soon as they get comfortable, I gotta pee.
You know what? That's me. So I can't even stunt. That's definitely me.
Great timing. Great timing. Because while she's peeing, she sees a group of men walk past her.
I thought these men were vampires.
I did too.
I was like, what the hell?
I did too. Because y'all are in all black. Y'all are pale as hell. And then
one of them literally looked like damn near, okay, it was either Nosferatu or if anybody has seen What We Do in the Shadows, I think that vampire's name is Peter. He damn near looked like him. And I was like,
bald, okay. And then turns around, looks her dead in the face, but then doesn't even say anything.
Let me get my ass back in this car. I don't even got to pee no more.
Well, yeah,
I keep a bucket in my car for that. So we really wasn't going to have to go far. I've been doing that since I was 17, keeping the bucket. Because the way my body's set up, I'll just have to go at the most inconvenient time. And I'm like, damn, I'm not about to get to no bathroom. So we just have to pull over and do this. Dump it out, clean it when I get back home, put it back. Y'all gonna start doing it. Just leave a little bucket in your car. I'm telling you.
So the part that tripped me out was I don't understand why she didn't scream until after they were away from her. So now dude's looking for the people with her. And while they're looking in one direction, we see them walking up the hill behind them, which was so weird. But he turns around, dude turns around and sees them just in time. And then he chases after them. Well, they lose them. And he's like, all right, you go back to the car while I go investigate where the men were. And as soon as she walks away, he starts coughing up blood. Yikes.
But I'm just like, all y'all did was like dip off into like a snowbank, whatever. But I'm just like,
there was on the other side of his door, that was a rock, like a big boulder. That's why they only got out that one side.
But would he be bleeding eternally and pissing blood from that though? Because later on, there's another car accident that's worse than this one, and they walk out fine.
Well, why'd they walk out fine?
We'll talk about it, because I don't know. Because, I mean, this is true. Look at this movie.
So after he coughs up that blood, he stumbles upon the remnants of a house and finds an old newspaper and grabs it and takes it with him. But inside the house, he sees dead bodies and freaks out. But when he looks again, there's nothing there. Back at the car, homegirl sees the same man she saw earlier, walk across the bridge again. This time, she gets closer and actually touches him. When she touches him, she gets zapped and something crawls out of his mouth. And in the middle of her meltdown, because now she's freaked out, she sees two more dead bodies, like people just bloody, whatever, and screams. Of course, dude hears this and runs to find her laying on the bridge in shock. And then they go back into the car. This time they used a newspaper he found to plug up the window, and he offers to get in the back of the car. but she stops him and decides to cuddle with him for warmth.
Because, girl, you knew. Like, no. Mm-mm. That was nice of him. That was nice of him to, like, be like...
Yeah.
And this is the thing about this character, because I can't be on his side, because I'm like, no, Nick, you're being that's creepy. Like, don't be doing that shit. But also, he genuinely is a kind person. So you just kind of like, damn, like, and I mean, they go on to talk about this later and we'll talk about it. But I'm just like, dang, but no, because baby, you can't be doing that.
Right. So title card, 11:17 p.m. They wake up from their cold, in and out of coldness naps. Okay. And an officer bangs on the window and they try to tell him what happened, but the officer isn't hearing it. Homegirl thinks it's a shakedown and the officer was in cahoots with the person who hit them. So she gets out of the car to try to give him money and to sweet talk him out of a ticket. And the officer is actually mad sketchy and was talking about all these fatalities and crazy things that happen on the road. He tries to get her into the car and she protests. And out of nowhere, homeboy swings at him with a piece of metal. And when it hits the officer's face, his face actually distorts and then they're catapulted back into the car.
Mm-hmm. So remember earlier we was talking about that little eternal reoccurrence.
Yep.
And the reincarnation, basically.
So yeah, definitely not reincarnation.
Exactly.
But it's eternal. Not that. It's eternal recurrence.
Mm-hmm.
So having the same thing happen over and over again. Mm-hmm. And they're just happen to be in the middle of these dead people's time loop.
Right.
So that incident caused whatever he was holding, was it like a tire iron? Okay, well, it caused the tire iron to get stuck to his hands.
Like stuck. Like it's stuck. It's like the little boy from A Christmas Story and his tongue. Is it flick? Yeah, flicking his tongue on the pole. Flicking his tongue on the pole. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Continue. That's dirty. Go.
Dude is in danger of losing his fingers at this point. So she takes his hands and puts it under her skin. Well, puts it on her skin under her shirt. At this point, they're hungry and they're cold. Poor things. And after a while, she realizes that she has Tylenol. So she gives him some Tylenol and then reads the newspaper. Finally, when she goes to fix the newspaper, because at this point, the newspaper done fell off the window a little bit. So she goes to fix it. And then she actually reads it and sees that the men in the woods that they all saw are really dead priests. Mm-hmm. And the two guys who were on the bridge died at the scene and the priest gave him the last rites.
And how convenient is it that he has that paper? That he's covering up the...
Yep, that's the paper that he found in the abandoned house.
Mm-hmm.
Title card, 2:32 a.m. She wakes up to fix the newspaper again when the radio goes off. All of a sudden, the officer grabs her ass out the window. He breaks the window and grabs her out the window. And we're immediately catapulted into a flashback of the officer pulling a woman out of the car and throwing her in the back of a patrol car. And in the distance, we see that the priest saw this happening. In actuality, but in real life, homegirl is having a nightmare and she's shaking in her sleep. Dude wakes up, tries to wake her up, and she does jump up, but then collapses right back down.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're back in the flashback of the dream, and she's watching the officer bury the woman, and then she finally snaps out of that dream. And then homeboy grabs her and drags her to the front of the seat as the car is assaulted by supernatural forces.
No. See, if I just wake up from a nightmare, and now I wake up and I know I'm up and this shit's banging on no. Because, I mean, and all I can say is no, because what else I'm going to do? I'm not getting out the car.
Hell no. Because you just noticed that when she finally woke up, it was like looking in the window.
Mm-hmm. Like, and they do, like, okay, now, here, I will say this movie does that well. Like, the parts when she would be by herself, like, if he was out the car and you would see a figure walk past, those are relatable because there'll be times that I'm in my car and sometimes it is a person, but sometimes I could have sworn I seen something go past me and I'm like, where did it go? Where is it? Like, what's going on? So those moments are done really well. But even like the time where you're supposed to be paying attention to them, but you'll just see like the cop or you'll see another ghost, like just in the background, like in the midst of the car. And you're just like, well, damn, Y'all don't feel that?
Title card, 4:58 a.m. At this point, we can tell that homeboy is getting worse. Like, pale, eyes sunken in. Ooh, baby. He asked her about her ex, and she reveals she ruined it due to her habit of being difficult. She goes in the back seat to get some more Tylenol and sees that he's been peeing blood into a water bottle. He finally reveals that he didn't make it far because when he was supposed to be going to the gas station, he didn't make it far because he started coughing up blood and then just turned around and came back. And honestly, I think that was the dumbest thing. I would have still made my way to the gas station. If I'm coughing up blood.
Right. You just would have had to figure it out.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we would have came back for you, sis, but no, him would have had to figure it out. We would have got there.
So at this point, she decides to come up with this idea to climb the telephone pole to create a landline connection to call for help, but using the phone that she found in the back seat.
Right.
Before she leaves, he said he'd been thinking about eternal recurrence and said he would do things differently. He would just, ask her out this time instead. And she kisses him. And I just was like, oh, she went from thinking he was a creep to giving him pity kisses because he's dying.
And he was probably happy, but like, at what cost?
Right.
Like, you see the situation you in and you like, he's about to say what he says, but you could have just did that. Homeboy.
Right. So she leaves the car, goes and climbs the pole, drops the scissors in the process after she makes the phone connect to the box. She kind of gets through to 911, but not really. And then on her way down, falls off the pole and ends up seeing the dead woman from her flashback. She then runs back to the car, but unfortunately finds out that
he ain't make it.
He did.
Just fell asleep.
Title card, 5:43 a.m. At this point, I think she got tired of being in the car with his dead body, so she drags him out the car. Next thing you know, a truck pulls up, and it's the guy from the diner with the hat who's just sitting in the corner looking out weird. He takes homeboy's body and puts him in the back and tells dispatch he's taking her to a trauma unit. While driving, the truck driver talks about the pretty bad accidents that happened on the road. The bad cop that crashed and the car lit on fire, the family that froze to death in their car, the priests that froze to death in their beds. Then, like clockwork, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree plays while a car comes at them head on. Homegirl knows, at this point, she knows that it's not the truck driver's friend Tom and puts on a seatbelt to brace for impact. Turns out it was actually the cop car that ran them off the road. But this time, this truck flipped.
Right.
So
and that's why I was just
times.
like, so, one of you, yes, but the other one, no, because you're very much well alive. How?
And then how was the dead body still in the back seat?
Just, first of all, how pissed would you be as a dead body? Like, I know you're not there, but I would be in heaven just looking down at y'all like, really? Y'all could have just, first of all, this heifer gonna take me out the car, which you know what I get. You probably wouldn't want to be in a car with a dead body. I'd probably be freaked out too. Yes. But then y'all gonna drive me on the back of this truck and just let me, Tina, take a tumble in this car accident like that. Like,
she gets out the car and sees that in all actuality, they didn't make it that far. Either that or they were catapulted back to where he picked her up from, basically, because she looked back and they was looking at the car. So she runs after the truck driver to tell him not to go down the hill towards the cop car, but he does it anyway. Then they turn around and see the priest, and now they're in a live flashback of what happened to the officer. So in this flashback, what really happened was that the priests go down to the cop car. One of them ripped out the radio of the burning car so that the officer couldn't call for help, and they didn't save him. They just pretty much left him there to die. And somehow, in the middle of this flashback, the officer gets out of the car and grabs the truck driver. And as he grabs him, he froze to death.
Like, just on contact. Like, literally, like, first of all, the way that the dude crawled out the car, burning on fire, I was just like, what the fuck? And then as soon as he grabbed the other guy, I'm thinking he's gonna catch on fire, but he just gets intense frostbite, which, you know, frostbite feels like burn. But I was just like, oh, well, okay, sis, what you gonna do now? Because that's that.
Well, she climbed her way back up the hill, made it back to the truck, tries to get the truck to work. But that's when the officer shows up, not on fire, and reaches for her. But just like before, homeboy, but now his ghost, shows up and yells, "Get away from her, you bastard!" And then hits the officer across the face with the tire iron. And then she's catapulted back into the car with the dead body. This time it's light outside, and now we actually see homeboy's ghost walking past the car and up the hill. And they have like a little cute exchange. "I was going to tell you, I promise." She's just like, "I know." So then he decides to follow him up the hill. He leads her to the cabin where he found the dead bodies. She walks through the cabin and still sees his ghost and continues to follow his ghost. And the ghost somehow leads her to the gas station. And the movie ends with the coroners, because it was multiple, placing homeboy inside the van. She's wrapped in a hypothermia blanket, crying, while looking at the picture she took of him at the beginning of the trip.
Like, we didn't know that was him that they was putting away. Because it's just like, I was trying to figure out, would I be looking at a picture of him in this moment? Maybe tonight, maybe later. But in this moment, this would be all too much. Like, at this, I will probably literally be trying to figure out what the fuck did I just go through the last X amount of hours. So I guess we can just hit that button. This movie, no, like I said, because the thing about this movie is I see what it was trying to do, but a lot of the execution just missed. I feel like I would have enjoyed this a little bit more if
he was a serial killer.
The homeboy.
Yeah.
I do like that take. But I even would have liked it. What if that was her ex-boyfriend, right? She was supposed to get a bus ride home, but she shilly-shallied and just waited, and the bus was sold out. She literally had no option but to go home with him. She don't want to. Of course, you know how it is with exes. They're going, but they actually start to kind of like reconnect. But it's like, it's not like no simple way. Like maybe they start talking about some shit, blah, 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 blah. And then they get misdirected by like the gas station person, go down this road, then all the shit happens. And then he dies. After they done had all of this reconciliation and all of that, like, damn, he dies. I probably would have liked the movie a little bit more because when you have the character of homeboy, I can't feel bad for him because he's fucking being a creep. So I can't feel bad for him, even though you realize, like, yes, he was just trying to be so sweet. But this was not the story. Imagine you really telling that story to your friends. Like, oh, how did you guys meet? Oh, yeah, I needed a ride home and he stalked me. Like, he even knew what glasses I wore. I would look at you like, bitch, are you showing me sick? Like, y'all can't see me, but I'm doing little hands. Yeah, like, what do you? No, that's not cute.
That's it's scary.
Not. Like I said, my thing with Joe is Joe would count on me not ever finding out.
Right.
And yes, I sound crazy as hell defending Joe, but it's Penn, which is really who we're talking about. So let's just be clear. We're
a Baltimorean.
But yeah, you know, so I'm just saying, so when it comes to the ghost part of this movie, I don't know. It just doesn't hit. Like when she goes and touches the bloated dead guy and he turns around and they try to do the Nightmare on Elm Street with the worm coming out the mouth.
I felt like it was random. Like the whole ghost aspect. It
didn't fit at all. It was just like, we got two subjects. Let's make them merge. Like, I don't know. And even, okay, I would have even liked if the boy was dead the whole time. And he leaves. Okay, if they heard an urban legend about this college student that takes kids home and he takes them down this road and shit happens on the road. If he was the dead kid the whole time, I would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just something about this movie that just did not sit right with me. Like Emily Blunt was fine.
Yeah,
she was cool. But like everything else, I was just saying, this This ain't it for me.
It was okay to me. Like, would I watch it again? No. But it was fine. It was tolerable. It felt long to me, and then I got bored.
Yes, it's like for the story to be so simple, it was so long and drawn out. And that's also another thing you get when you have these isolation movies, when you're just confined to one spot. You have to keep it interesting. And it was just a lot of, okay, I'm going to leave the car and I'm going to come back. I'm going to leave the car, something happens, come back. It wasn't like Paranormal Activity, where obviously for the first few movies, we're in a house or we're in one room and shit is going down. But that's just because like that's demonic shit. And it's just like, oh no, we're not fucking with that. When it comes to the ghost story, I don't know what it is. It's just like this movie just didn't hit.
Yeah, it didn't.
It just didn't hit. Usually I can see both sides, but I don't see it. I'm just like, I don't see it, y'all.
Like an hour and 30 minutes for a movie is not long. That's standard, that's average. But this felt like longer than an hour and 30 minutes.
It did.
And mind you, it's an hour and 30 minutes, including credits. So it's really less than an hour 30.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get with it. One thing that I know I mentioned already was that I felt like it would have been better if he was a potential serial killer, because they kind of painted him out to be kind of like maybe he's psycho, maybe he's a stalker, maybe he could be a serial killer. But then he ends up dying, and I'm like, what? And then at one point, I really thought, damn, he's coughing up blood and he's going after these weird people in black. I thought he was going to sacrifice their ass, and I was here for it. But I was wrong.
Like, it's so many routes this movie could have taken. And that's also why I'm like, I just wonder, had I seen this when it first came out, would I feel different? Probably not. Because it just...
I still would have felt like I wasted an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's in
this case, 3 hours, because I watched it twice.
Oh, hell no. I watched it once and I was like, I only need to... And y'all know me. I will sit and watch a movie for the podcast 2 to 3 times, most times. This one, I watched it one time and I was like, yeah, I don't need to see this again. I don't. I don't. And I won't. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into these ratings, because I ain't got nothing else to say.
Ratings.
This movie has a 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 46% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ashley, how many tickets are you giving this ride?
I was really conflicted. It's not that the movie is terrible. It's just like, it just was not for me. I just want to give it 50 tickets.
It's like, I can care less. I could take it, I could leave it. Now, when I first finished watching the movie, I was going to give it a 70 to be generous. But right now, the way I'm feeling, I feel the same as you, and I'm giving it 50. Because I actually put 50. I wrote down 50 right before you said it.
Well, y'all know what that means. Y'all heard it earlier in the show. But if you're new here, if Johnny and I give any movie a 50 and under, like both of us have to rate it under 50 tickets. If we do, it is a doozy of a ride. And I think we can both agree.
Yeah. The whole episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. But just in case you don't know what qualifies it as a doozy, if you ever hear in the beginning of the show, it says it's a doozy, that means we both rated it below 50 and below. Now, if one of us rates it 50 and somebody rates it higher, then that's not a doozy. There you go. Let's go ahead and go to the souvenir shop, because despite this being a doozy, I actually got something cute.
Thanks for writing. Before you go, take a detour into the souvenir shop.
Okay, I know I just hyped that up and I said that I had something really cute, but I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I had a movie called Wind Chill, obviously my souvenir would be some merch. I would have like some thick hoodies, like the little I thought I had one in my room, like, you know, the little fleece. I would definitely have like a hypothermia blanket, or just like a regular fuzzy blanket, like everything warm, and it would just have like the Wind Chill logo on it. That's it.
Now, one thing that confused me about this cover art for this movie It looked like she underwater.
Yes, I thought we were gonna have a situation where, and I haven't. Okay, if somebody hasn't seen the movie, I'm sorry.
Well, Under the Ice.
So yes, I'm not gonna spoil it, but a new movie just recently came out with the code setting, and I don't want to say who's in it because as soon as I say it, if you haven't seen it, you're gonna see it's gonna be kind of a spoil. Okay, I'll use The Good Son for example. I thought we was gonna have a Good Son situation where we was out on top of a lake and she was gonna end up in the water somehow. No, why do we have this cover? So then you have the other cover that's her looking out the car window, which makes more sense because we're in the car the entire time. But yes, I'm like, why is she behind? And is that even her?
No, I don't think that's her.
I'm like, it is.
It
don't look like her. Y'all see it when we post it. But I'm just like, why do we choose this? And y'all know me. Y'all know I love cover art, and half the time I really don't give a damn if it don't have nothing to do with the movie, if it looks good. But this, I was just like, why would we choose this?
Yeah, it looks like she under the ice. And I'm not understanding.
Yeah. Lost on me. Well, that's that. You ready for these park announcements?
Let's go.
Okay, y'all, we know that one was a doozy, but hopefully next week when we jump into 1997's Jack Frost, one of the baddest snowmen out. This movie is very controversial for so many reasons. I know I just slid through that word, but y'all knew what I was trying to say, so just act like you know. Y'all know how I
just
be
act
doing.
like you know.
Okay, I'll just be sliding through words. Who cares? But anyway, you can link up with us on all of our social medias. D180 everywhere. IG, Twitter, TikTok. Hit us up on Patreon. It is so much stuff happening on Patreon. If you get the Fast Pass, that's $3. You get the episodes early, and you also get bonus mini-sodes. If you get the Survivors Pass, you get all that. Plus, you get an audio version of a bonus show from me. Then you get some other stuff that I don't know right now because it's not in front of me. But then if you get the $10 tier, you get all that. You get a video version of the reviews from me. You get to request, like the patrons requested a movie for this month, and they got a few more months to go as we go through season 2. So if you want all those perks and benefits, and you get a cute ass bracelet that some of them have tagged us in. So if you want to see the bracelet, you can go on our IG and see that. But yeah, you get hella cute shit. You can come join us on the Patreon.
Yo, the bracelet really is cute. I said one of our survivors would post it, and I was like, oh, this is cute.
Well, Johnny, you're going to be really excited because you're going to get something for Christmas, but I'm not telling you what it is. It's not a bracelet, though. Only me and Johnny are going to have it. It's so super exclusive. Nothing against y'all. I mean, if y'all really want it and y'all tell us y'all want it, I'll think about it. But like I said, I cannot wait. Johnny, have you seen this movie before?
Jack Frost?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, yes,
badass
we about to be on some shenanigans.
No, man.
I'm just telling y'all right now, we're really about to be on that BS next week when we review this movie, because as terrible as this movie is, and I don't mean terrible as in it's a bad movie, I mean terrible as in some of the choices. It's a funny ass movie, and I'm always gonna laugh, and I don't care. All right, y'all, until next time when you visit us in the park, we'll see you soon.
Bye.